All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the Son of Mashiach, who some call Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. I'm sure a lot of you've heard by now that TD Jakes had I want to say it seems like he had a stroke, but he had some kind of medical emergency while he was closing service today. And I see a lot of us, jump into, oh, well, that was the judgment of the Lord. And I just want to speak on that, that you just got to be very mindful that we're all worthy of a harsh judgment, And there are several allegations going on with that brother in the midst of this, which could have caused, this medical condition. And some of the things, and this is why I always tell y'all to pray for leadership. No matter where you think, how high you think brothers and sisters are sitting on a hill or have these large ministries, and man, it's believe me, it's well, you ain't gotta believe me, because I don't know, I ain't got no large ministry, but even a small ministry, I know from having a small ministry and some of the things that and how taxing that can be, that on that level it must be insane. It must be insane to have everybody wanna pull at you. Everyone wanna be close to you. Everybody wanna say they had dinner with. Everybody trying to get you. Everybody have an idea. And those things can be very stressful. And, one of the last things he was saying was that, how sometimes you could go to the hospital and want to help someone, and you end up being helped by them. You go into the hospital to pray for someone, and they end up praying. They end up, inspiring you or encouraging you and giving you strength, while you go in there to try to give them strength in their weakness. They're giving you a word and strengthening you through their courage, through whatever trial and tribulation that they're going through. Again, I ain't here to get too much into the allegations and things that were going on and still are going on with them. You just sending up prayers for the brother and his family, the elder and his family, and that congregation. I don't know if that congregation survives without him being there. And no matter what, with the allegations, the brother does have a gift, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. The brother does have a gift with the word, whether he's, misusing it and fleecing the flock with it, or he's used it to get certain gains. You also have to look at some of the things that he does do, if you're even looking at it. A lot of us don't even care to look at it and care to see what he's. I remember what was that brother named Jamal Bryant saying something like that. Well, they talk about all the bad stuff that we do, which we do, but we don't talk about how we fed over 1 million people. Nobody announced that. Nobody did a video on how we fed over 1 million people through this particular program, and we haven't. That's just the nature of the beast. And we got to get better at that. Even myself, I had to check myself on that too, man, that I'm not just putting up videos of negativity or rebuke all the time, but also congratulating brothers and giving brothers and sisters their flowers when they're doing certain things within the communities and doing certain things where you see certain good works, that we can salute each other and say, great job, brother. Great job, sister. We see you out here. We see you out here operating righteously. And job well done. To highlight some of the good that we're doing, not just in our community, but in other communities too, even in Islam or whatever. If it's a righteous act, it should be commended, in my opinion. I could be wrong. If y'all feel I'm wrong, hit the comments. But we just got to be mindful that we don't take on that spirit of Jonah, just wanting to see people be destroyed, wanting to see a whole nation be destroyed, rather than them people repent and get forgiveness as you have gotten forgiveness, as your nation of people have received forgiveness. Just be mindful that we don't take on that spirit of Jonah, and rather we take on the spirit of Abraham, who prayed for Sodom, that was trying to vouch for Sodom. Like, man, what if it's, what if I can find 50? What if I can find 10? You gonna destroy all of them? And with some of the similar allegations that's going on with the brother, we want to have that spirit of Abraham, and definitely just keep the brother in prayer and pray the brother repents, and pray whatever iniquities that he got going on, that he works that out and called out to the Father. We don't know the conversations that he's had with the Father, but just pray that he comes out of this thing on righteousness and on fire. And sometimes these are the kind of things that do that. Sometimes these are the setbacks. These are the scares that get us in line. But we start, understanding that, man, we very close in any of us any day. We're not promised tomorrow. That's why we should be operating in fear, and everybody working out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Because you're not promised tomorrow. You're not guaranteed the next 30 seconds. Anything can happen. And when your time is called, your time is called. Geno Jennings also had Geno Jennings had, just recovered from a stroke. And this could be too, man, just brothers just doing too much. Brothers had to sit down and you had to raise brothers up. You need to raise brothers up where you're not teaching trying to travel all over the world, trying to teach, every other day. You get up to a certain age, man, it may be time to just sit down and get some rest and, watch others do it. I know too, man, that was that last phrase he was talking about, felt like he was fading. But one of his last words was like, he was commending someone for singing a song so beautifully. He was commending them, and I can almost, like, I picture him as he's fading off to hearing that song, reminiscing about that song, whatever that song was. I didn't watch the service, of course. I just seen the news and seeing people talking about it. But him hearing that song while he was going through his medical condition. And again, pray the brother comes out of that. It seemed like it was kind of like it was a stroke. But pray the brother definitely comes comes out of this situation, man, and pray for this brother family. It's so much connected, so much riding on this individual. So many people can be affected, by if we lose, by a loss of someone this impactful on the community. Whether he hadn't affected me at all. Well, I'm not gonna say that because I've read several of his books. I've gotten lots of information, lots of knowledge from the brother. So I ain't gonna say he had an impact, but more of I really, I'm not paying him tithes and offering. All right, so I can't say he's fleecing my money or doing something with my money or nothing like that. But he has impacted my life. I have learned some lessons for times that I was watching him in some of the literature. I've read several of his books. But again, man, we just a reminder. That's why I did this video, just for us not to take on that spirit of Jonah. And we do have that spirit, and we need to understand. I got a lesson on Jonah. I'm always saying that. Well, I got a lesson. But that lesson, we always talking about the whale and all of that, but in the Assyrians, but in the Assyrians, the Nineveh repenting, but the story is about Jonah. The story is about Jonah and his attitude towards destroying the Most High's creation, wanting to destroy his creation, and him having to, the Most High having to break these things down to him, man, and show him himself through this plant that he let grow up and let and give him shade and give him, just for a day, gave him shade, and then the cankerworm ate it at night and destroyed it. And the Most High had to check him because he felt a certain kind of way about this plant, about one plant being destroyed that only took a day to come up. But yet you have compassion and empathy for this plant, but you don't have any of that for a whole nation of people that you wanted to see destroyed. Again, everything ain't judgment, and if it is, it is. It's in the Most High's hands. Only He really knows that. So just be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you don't want that. You don't want that same thing coming to you. You got to understand the reciprocity of the kingdom, and how you throw out judgments may be how you end up being judged. And so we all need forgiveness. I definitely need forgiveness. So I pray that brother receives forgiveness, and if he has things that's going on and secret iniquities and these allegations, he repents from that, and pray that he comes up out of this thing with good health, and able to continue operating his ministry, or take the steps to maybe even step down and let somebody else come up and build somebody else up, to relinquish some of the stresses that he has going on, just trying to do too much, and get some rest, and get some much needed rest. And that's one thing about the hospital. If you ain't gonna do nothing else, you gonna get some rest. You are gonna get some rest in there. So pray the brother get some rest. Pray the brother comes back, fully recovered from this thing. Seems that he's been losing some weight and getting his health in order. Like, he don't look like he's it looks like he's healthy in losing the weight when I did see him, so Pray this is just a little shortcoming, a little trial that he has to go through, a little test, and that he comes um, on the other end of this thing. And but at the end of the day, y'all, let the Lord will be done. Pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. We'll see y'all on the next one.